News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine with Nick Beres.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. I'm Nick Beres. On a Monday, I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to kick things off. A lot of times we do open phones Monday, but then every once in a while we shake things up. We move open phones to other days because we've got great guests to join us, and it's really convenient for Allison Fields, the veterinarian, to come in on a Monday. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's great.
It's good to see you. She is a veterinarian extraordinaire. We're going to open up the phone lines at 737-7587 if you want to join in the conversation, questions or comments. But before we get to the phone calls and all this, what's going on? What do we need? What's happening in the world of pets?
Tick season, man.
Tick season.
Tick season.
Are we kind of winding down?
Fleas and ticks. No,
okay.
We're not going to wind down until we have a good hard frost.
That's right. So they're going to stick around. Ticks.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a lot more than usual, or? I mean, every year there's tick season.
I don't know that a lot more than usual.
Yeah.
I will say that I see fewer pets coming in covered in ticks, and I think that's because, I think that's because we have good flea and tick control.
It's better than ever before.
Yeah. And, you know, we have topicals, we have orals, we have collars, we have everything. So compared to 20 years ago, we see a lot fewer animals just covered. Now, I did see a sweet little dachshund last week who had gotten into a patch of seed ticks. And poor little buddy, he just had so many. We were
covered.
Just like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah. But he's good now.
He's good?
Yeah.
You give him a dip?
No, we don't dip.
We don't dip
I don't
anymore.
Really know any clinics that have dip.
Remember the old days? I mean, you don't need to.
No, we don't need to.
Which is good.
That was like the end-all be-all when you had fleas and ticks.
On the whole body, yeah.
Right. I remember being little and Mom would be like, okay, it's time to dip the cats again. And, you know, it was now you just put stuff on or,
it's awesome. Like you said, it's better than ever. Okay, so ticks, still heavy out there, fleas, all that kind of stuff. Keep the treatment going.
Yeah.
I mean, until now. I was going to ask you this, teeth in dogs. Now, I don't know so much in cats. What do you think of trying, if you get the proper, toothpaste and the little brushes, or the ones that fit on your finger?
Yeah.
Does it help? Because we've had a couple of our dogs where we've taken in and had to have teeth pulled, and maybe sometimes that goes, and I don't want them in pain. But does brushing them help significantly?
It does. It can't. Like if you have a dog that has severe dental tartar, brushing their teeth is not going to remove that.
Okay.
It is going to help the buildup of any more. So it's kind of a start fresh and keep it going kind of thing.
How would you say get your finger into their mouth? I mean, they don't naturally just love it, so well,
they like the toothpaste.
Okay.
And if you buy that, don't use human toothpaste.
Right.
But if you get the doggy toothpaste, and the reason we don't use human toothpaste is
it fluoride or something like that? It's not good.
A lot of them have artificial sweeteners in them.
Oh, that's right. The kind that's in the gum that sometimes is dangerous.
Can kill dogs.
Right.
Yeah, it's in your a lot of sugar-free peanut butter that's been sweetened, so gum, stuff like that. Anyway.
Right. Obviously, they're not putting sugar in toothpaste.
Correct.
That would defeat the purpose, right?
And so you put it on the little finger covers with a little brush on it, I think, are the best. And you just let them start licking it to begin with and get the taste of it. And then as they're licking it, you try to get in there and, give a little scrubby. The good news is that most dogs' tartar builds up on the outside, not the tongue side of the teeth. And so you don't really have to try to get in there as much as you do elsewhere.
Okay. All right. Because I'll tell you what, dogs will have that, and they may end up getting abscess there too, and it's amazing. Dogs are such incredible creatures. High threshold for pain or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we've taken them in and we want them checked. We, our normal vet visits, and the vet said, well, he has an abscess on the right side.
Right. You're like, what?
I'm like,
He's still eating.
The poor thing. And so we immediately got it fixed.
But it's amazing once you start them on antibiotics or pull that tooth and get it under control. The dog, like, all of a sudden feels a ton better.
Who wouldn't?
But you just didn't realize it because it's such kind of a chronic thing. And I don't mean years, but it's a couple weeks of it starts to feel bad, and they just kind of get used to it, and it gets worse, and they just kind of get used to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just feel awful about it, because if you've ever had a toothache, I make a fuss about it one day.
You?
Yeah.
No, I can't imagine.
That's when you're like,
you're not a big brave guy.
For dentists.
Like you get a little paper cut, and you let everybody at the station know.
Low threshold for pain for me.
See, we get paper cuts as vets, and we're dealing with alcohol all day long. So you just get it in, and you just go, and you move on.
You just get used to it. Have you been bit lately?
No, I haven't been bitten in a long time.
No,
Why did you say that?
I don't. That's sorry.
There's no
sorry.
wood.
Okay.
There's wood.
My head's right
Somebody
here.
like.
Hey, by the way, with regard to cats, you don't brush them, do you? Like you do dogs?
You know, there are some people that would say you should. Their mouths are so tiny you can't get your finger in there. A toothbrush is too big, and their teeth are really sharp.
Right. And cat bites, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
If you get bit by a cat, you got to be very careful on that.
Not so fun.
Any reports of rabies, anything like this? Alerts sent out from anywhere? Not that you've seen any animals. Has it been anything? I have not heard any.
I haven't.
Gosh, that's fantastic.
I know.
They kind of eradicated a lot of that.
Well, don't say it. It's not.
Well, not eradicated, but I mean, we just don't see the reports as we sometimes used to as much.
I don't know if it's the Department of Health or what, but usually monthly they will do. You can access it somewhere. How many skunks? Blah 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 blah. Do you know what? A rodent? No, it's not a rodent. I don't know. What small land-dwelling creature in this area does not incubate rabies?
Mouse?
Possum.
Possums.
Possums are great.
Yeah, I love possums.
Possums get a bad rap, but do you know that they eat ticks, they eat fleas, they eat a lot of bugs, they don't carry rabies.
Rick just said in my ear what I was going to ask you. What about armadillos?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know that armadillos can carry rabies.
Yeah, okay.
What disease can armadillos carry?
Wait, leprosy.
Yes.
Good job. Leprosy. I don't know. You told me that before.
It's not super common.
That's
I think
crazy,
there were 7 cases in the state of Florida last year. I mean, leprosy has this big, bad.
Yeah.
But it's really treatable
and all this kind of stuff.
Antibiotics.
Right.
I mean, back in the Bible days, there weren't any antibiotics, and so it was a bad sitch. You know, actually, there was a leper colony in the United States up until down Louisiana.
Oh, okay, because there was one of the Hawaiian Islands years ago.
No, this was in Louisiana. It's either Louisiana or southern Mississippi up until 5-10 years ago.
Well, couldn't those poor people be helped?
Yeah, but by that point they had sustained so much physical damage that getting out in society wasn't.
So that's where they just stayed away from that. That's awful. Anyway, armadillos have that.
Possums are great. Don't kill possums. They are great for the environment, for your pets, all of it.
The box turtles, or the ones that you see sometimes in the road, and I'll take them to get them out of the road. You just want to wash your hands after handling those too.
I did that yesterday.
Because of E. coli or salmonella on turtles.
No, I went yesterday. I was headed home from Linden, and there was a little box turtle in the road, and I stopped on this real tiny little windy road. You know, hope that nobody comes up flying behind me. Yep. And you always want to take them in the direction they're facing.
They're going somewhere.
Yes, even if they are closest, if their butt's closest to, a foot off the grass on that side, don't put them back there. They're just going to keep going. They roam, I want to say about a 1 square mile territory, something like that.
So they know that area, meaning some people maybe would take one and think it's near the road. I'm going to take it home with me and put it in my back forest.
No, they constantly want to try to
do that is they're going to try. I don't know. It's not going to kill the turtle if you take him out there, but they're going to be in an unfamiliar area.
No, but he's going to spend all of his time trying to get back to his place and not do as well. But yeah, if you see him, just stop and
get him out of the road.
Pick him up and continue in the direction they're facing, and then wash your hands.
I do the same thing and stop, which is good. It breaks my heart every time I see one of them hit. And I hope and like to believe if and when they do rarely get hit, it's because the car came around and didn't see them. I see someone intentionally swerve to hit one.
What are you going to do,
I'm going to follow them.
Are you?
And I am going to stop.
Are you going to pull them over and pull out your camera?
No, we will have a conversation. Now I know these days you do that and you have a problem with, some idiot that would do that would pull a gun. Depending on where I am, they're going to hear about it. Yeah. Now, I've never witnessed it, and that's a good thing. But I am Nick Beres, and if I pull you over, there's going to be problems.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm going to whip out the camera, and it's going to go out there. It's going places. I'm going to put your face so everyone can see that you just squished a turtle. And most people are not going to like that.
Watch out, turtle squishers.
The other one is people see a snake going across the road and try to roll over a snake, because they're heroes, because snakes are scary. Yeah. Again, idiots. Idiots.
There's good snakes. The snakes that are not good are the little snakes that my cat goes to the basement, gets into the crawl space, and brings to me in my kitchen. Those are not good snakes.
Why? No, but they're not poisonous, are they?
No, but they're not good.
Well, you don't like them being brought to you in the kitchen. Snake in the house, not a fun snake. All right, let's take Brian. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. You know my cat Buddy. He's lost a little weight lately. He's just turned 7. He's kind of a cross between a Russian blue and a chartreuse. He's got no neck, big shoulders, And he had that stuff on his legs where he was licking it. He had a wound on one leg, and so he had licked it for a while after it healed, and then he finally stopped doing that and hair grew back. But I've been giving him Brevecta. Brevecta is pretty expensive, so I tried the Frontline again for a couple months. It's fine because he doesn't have any. We were almost tempted to stop because he's inside all the time, and after a while that stuff can get expensive, but we're still doing it. But I'm wondering if I can get by with every other month instead of every month. I know the Brevecta is every 3 months. And then since he's inside a lot, I know you got to keep him occupied. So we get him toys and the fish on the string and some different things. And he gets to go up in the window. But they said just to be careful. I've got the ladies that work there said they've had cases where they'll go right through the screen, which I don't believe that, but he's not that.
That will happen. I've had it happen to me.
Really?
It's not that they're trying to. They'll go to jump up in the windowsill, and their momentum just keeps going, and they go whoop, right, push the screen out. So, yeah, it happens.
Okay.
Don't believe it.
So now the Brevecta, is that the pill?
No, well, it is for dogs.
Okay.
Brevecta is an oral form for dogs that lasts 3 months. It is a topical for cats that lasts 3 months. It is expensive because it lasts 3 months.
Okay.
I would suggest, since you did have a flea problem, that we use flea control for at least a straight 6 months. Excuse me, if not into the winter. We've had this conversation a lot. We all quit using our flea control in October and November. And in January and February, we have a huge flea outbreak in our home because the fleas that were in our house laid eggs. And they're dormant. And then we, it's 72 degrees in our house, whatever. Then we turn on the heat in January and February and we start cranking it up because it's 13 degrees outside. And all these fleas inside think it's springtime and they hatch. So I might consider using your flea control year round.
All right, and not missing a month. Like he was thinking skipping one or two if he's on one.
Well, what happens if you skip one or two is if you skip one, he gets a few fleas.
Yeah.
They have laid how many thousands of eggs in that month, and then you kill that flea. But you still have all these flea eggs in your house that are going to hatch out in January and February.
Gotcha. All right, on that note, let's take a break. You don't want that happening in the middle of January and February. No, not fun. When we come back, phone line's still open, 737-7587. More of our conversation with Allison Fields, veterinarian, right after this.